Hello, I made it. I made it. I made it. I'm here. I'm here. All right, babies. How are you doing? How's you doing today? I don't know why I said, hey, babies. That's what I say to my kids. Hey, babies, what's up? Man, what a day. Look at my hair. Like, this is what happens when my hair starts growing out when it's short. I get crazy kind of like mop head hair. That's what happens. I get crazy mop head hair. Oh, a little bit more awake than I was this morning. Had to do some work with Revenue Canada. It was actually, I got through right away, and I got in and I got to talk to somebody right away, and I got somebody to help me with what I needed done. And it ended up that I had to file one, two, three, four GST reports that I hadn't filed, which I honestly, I didn't get any statements or anything. I just totally forgot about it. Bad on me. So I did that, got them filed, got everything done. They're in there. So now whatever happens, blessings. I just blessed it. That's all I had to do. So I just wanted to come in and say hello and let you know I'm still here and I'm still showing up for the day. Yeah, the energy's not too bad today. It can be intense, it can be crazy, there can be a craziness to it, definitely. But for the most part, it is a wild day. There is, a little bit of strategy going on in the air. So, and Uranus is, with Aldelgal, which is a fixed star, which is righting wrongs. So I think there's some energies there that are righting wrongs, and funny that there's going to be a verdict come out on that trial today in the United States. So we have that. So it's making decisions. Changes are coming. Outcome are coming, and we also have where, with that moon and in Taurus, and it's with Uranus. So we got a little bit of cray going on with that. And the moon's moving slow. So we're having a slow processing of energies today. So how are you processing your energies? It's, you know what? I just have to say, it's just, I don't it has been a little bit chaotic and crazy. I don't know about your life, but in my life too. And a lot of stressors going on and trying to formulate next moves on on so much. I feel like there's just so much happening in life at this time, and um having to figure things out. And this is my grandson's notes, my son texting me, and it's fated destinies. And it's looking at those fated destinies and adjusting to what needs to be adjusted. I think through my life, I've been very good at adjusting. Like, I've had to adjust to a lot of things that have happened in my life. And as I meander through, and then after I don't, um, I, I don't, I don't think about it after it's all happened. It's done, and I go on, and that's the whole thing. It's like sometimes you don't realize what the stressors are, because you just went through something and you handled it, you got through it. Now you're going on, and you're just moving on. You're just moving on, and you're not really taking into account any of the factors of what just happened. And I think that's a lot of, for everybody, how we went through 2020, how we're going through 2021. It's like, okay, how can we get through this? How can we do this? And going through. This is where, very transitional energy that's coming in. And I mentioned this morning with my group, or it was on Instagram. It was somewhere I mentioned, but it was like the 9 of wands. And the 9 of wands is that you're adjusting, you know that you have to go through something. You know that you're going through it. Yet it's you don't want to lock yourself into something. You don't want to lock yourself a into a certain circumstances, or have your fear overtake you because of it. And so you know that you've worked through a lot of your shadow. You've worked through a lot of your triggers, the things that trigger you, or you feel you've worked through them as best as you can. And this is where you don't want to get locked in. You don't want to get locked into um to the old ways, or to what keeps you in a certain setting. And this is where this is coming in. And with Mars across from Uranus, it is very explosive. It is very changes, making decisions. This is coming in and pushing. It's intense. It can be difficult and hard. And I think, when you get to a certain age, and you kind of wonder, good morning, Raylene, kind of wonder, because there's expectations of where you think you should be. And then all of this energy that's coming up, and you're looking at it, and it's emotional. It is, fixed, where you fixate it on things in your life, and looking at those fixated pieces in your life. And this is, when you look and see where you have to release. Hopefully I'm making sense. I feel like I'm babbling. So this is time to make sense, or try and make sense on where you want to go in a new direction. And sometimes, what I find is, when you're young, you think, "Oh, I got plenty of time to do this. Oh, I got plenty of time to do this." Then you get, um to a certain age, and then you find it's like, "Oh my God, I don't have plenty of time to do it," or "I'm not able to do it anymore," or "I didn't make the choice to the choices to do certain things. I made other choices." And now, after this is like, and I'm going to say a 20-year stint. So within the last 20 years of looking at all of the choices that you made, good, bad, and ugly, and then coming forward and saying, you know what, I'm going to do a complete 360 and go into a new direction. That is that's a huge one, and I think that's where a lot of people are. And it's scary because you have to make this big change, this big shift, and the changes that are perhaps difficult at the moment but necessary for the next chapter. You have to make those shifts, you got to make those pivots, and it's growth through agreeing to move on and leave behind. And that's that moon in Taurus, and it's squaring um Saturn, and Saturn squaring my sun right now, and my 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 Neptune, and my Mercury. So I'm, and I think my Vesta and everything else. So I have, all of this coming in, and it's squaring all of this energy in my chart right now. And it means to make drastic changes in your life, and shifting and making it, and they're difficult because, you think, "Oh, okay, I can do this," but then you're also thinking, "Holy fuck, I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm not as fit as I used to be." And these changes have to be made. These things have to be made. And what does that look like, and what does that mean? And stepping into the newness is fucking scary. You know, my with my I know my husband doesn't like me to bring him up, but I bring him up anyways. Um, because of things, like he was he was in a beautiful position working. They lost the contract of that place, and now he's sort of in a floating void of what to do next. And what does that look like and what does that mean? And it's not something that we haven't been in before. We have, but it's when you've gone through everything and now you're it feels like you have to take these steps back to go through them again. Makes it a little bit rough. Um, has you really taking a real deep look at your own self. And yes, this is where that, I'm going to call it the PTSD, comes in, because sometimes that runs amok within your system and you don't really um, know how that runs amok, and you don't know how that works. You don't, you kind of put it aside, like you compartmentalize everything. And this is where it's saying, well, you can't do that right now, you got to let it all out. And letting it all out is like, whoa, this is fucked up mess. Like my taxes. Not doing my GST since 2017 is kind of like, it's a fucked up mess. And um these energies are showing you where you need to start making those changes. It's sometimes you feel like, okay, I can do it certainly a certain way, but it is I feel like there's a lot of difficulty in it. And me being a very fixed sign, my ruler is the moon, because I have my ascendant on Capricorn, on Cancer, and the moon is in Cancer. So I'm, that moon energy really comes in, and I can feel it with that internal core of how to move forward. So it is a time to let go and move on, and knowing that you'll be okay. But sometimes in that moment, as you're doing it, is unsettling and it is unnerving. But you have the power within, you have that divine connection, and you are totally a child of the universe. This is a learning process. Sometimes it's a fucked up learning process, and you feel like you're always in the principal's office. I think most of my life I've been in the principal's office in some way, somewhere, some format. So being in that principal's office. So, kind of crazy right now. So I've done that. So I did that. Now I just have to wait if they will. And I do have a personal refund coming back. We'll see if I get that or not. It would be nice to be able to get it before Christmas. I'll start from the beginning after. Hello. So it is a lot of transiting energies that are coming in, a lot of fixed energies of, it's like when you pull a root out and you shake it, and it was hard to get that root out. That's the way I feel it is. And finally when the root's out, it's like, but then you got a hole. And then you got to look at, how to fill the hole, make sure you fill the hole properly. Can't just leave a hole there. And but that hole is that void that after you release something of what it is that you want to put together. So what is that void that you want to put, what do you want to fill your void with? So right now it's drawing the line in the sand, and really looking at everything from April. I can even go back to April of 2020 in the new moon. And that was when the first lockdowns were coming down to here. So we have this whole releasement of like, okay, and when we were locked down, it wasn't too bad, because I think, some people were still working, things were going on. But I still knew that like when people said that 2021 to me, I love it when people say this. They say to me, 2021 is going to be so much better. And going like, yeah, no, this is we're still in a rebuilding, refining, rejuvenating kind of ways. And when I look at 2022 and I'm just like, it's will there be light? Yes, yeah, definitely light, but there's still coming into a big fight. It's not I wouldn't call it a year of harmony. I know somebody mentioned that yesterday. I really won't. I think it's a year of transitioning and a year of enlightenment. Um, and maybe harmony comes out of that. But when you're going through the transitioning and enlightening, um, that means that you have to be open to receive it. And being open to receive the enlightening and transitioning, you have to be able to move, and you have to be able to allow yourself not to be so fixated on the way things were and how they should be, and on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And that's going to be a huge one. And this is where this energy comes in because it's preparing us. Like I said, October was going to be the prelude to our 2022. And October was like, there's a lot of changes and switching and movement. And this is where now we're coming into, okay, here comes the deep seated work, because the work is never done above ground. It's always done below ground. So for seeding or anything that you're doing, it's always done below ground. And there's a company in the United States, it's a farming company. They've been around for, I think, over 100 plus years. And they do wheatgrass. And they, part of their wheatgrass, but what they do is they plant it in the fall. So what they do is that they plant it deeper so that the roots can really get down there and they can get two cuttings from their crop. But their wheatgrass is organic and it's really good, and they make a really good wheatgrass powder supplement. Um, for you. And anyways, but the idea is that they're going down to get to the juiciness of the soil, to get to that, to I'm going to call it the blackness, and going into that blackness of the soil and that real richness, and so that the roots can sort of hang on and um produce a beautiful crop for them, produce something that is very, filled with those nutrients, filled with that, of that, illicit green, golden, um, elixir that helps to bring us vibrance. Because wheatgrass is like so good. It's so oxygenating. And it's probably what I need right now is like a whole thing of wheatgrass. I mean, they even use, for women, they use wheatgrass suppositories. There's suppositories for women that can be utilized, and um, especially if they're low in vitamin B's and different vitamins, and feeling very low in energy, and this helps to revitalize. It's been used for centuries, actually. Women have used wheatgrass suppositories to just help to allow for revitalization within our body, especially after childbirth and stuff. So there's beautiful I don't know how I got onto that. The oxygenating and revitalizing, it's that deepness that we have to go into in order to make the changes. And I think, right now, I know for myself and for my husband, changes are going to be there. Not saying I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing, definitely. I'm still going to be doing readings. I'm still going to be doing workshops. This is where, in doing some of the things that I do, is, maybe there's going to be some sort of changes in how I do them or how I present them. Not sure. I never know how that's going to look. I've been offered a few to go on to some online platforms, which would be interesting, just to scope out and just broaden the energy scope of what I do. So that is going to be interesting. I was offered to do a summit. So I'm doing a summit in January. I'll be speaking on January 7th, not June, January 7th. So there's a summit, and I'll be posting all the stuff out of the summit that I'm doing. So, and so there's things that are happening that are in the mix that are really cool, and then there's other muck that that has to go through, that have to be sifted through and moved and shifted in order to create that beauty that we want in our lives. So intense, there are important, doors closing, or doors are closing to open new ones. So that's what's happening. So I do have my Black Friday sale, 6 mini moon readings, for $100. So you'll get the full moon reading. I'll be doing that just now. So I have a few more readings, and so I should be completed that. So any new ones come in, they'll get completed. So if you want to order 6 mini readings, and it takes you all the way up to January. I have a full moon meditation on Friday evening on Zoom at 7 p.m. It's going to be a dancing. So we're going to be dancing. And December comes my extravaganza. So we'll be doing the extravaganza. We'll be doing some of the extravaganza on. I'm going to see if I can do it here too. So people can, if you want to purchase something, I'll have when I go online, there'll be for that time, or that when I'm on, that is going to be when you can purchase whatever item for a very crazy price. And but it's only if you are on live with me. So we're going to have little extravaganzas like that, and I'm going to pop periodically on Facebook Live, or on here on StreamYard. And so I'm going to try and make it fun, and come up, and little elf. I'm going to see if I've looked at I can't find, anyways, I'm going to get some more little reindeer um headband and stuff like that. And so making it fun, that's what I want to do. I want to make it fun. Doing When I do these sales, and I do this is really, when people, it's beneficial for them, yes, but it's also beneficial for me. It really helps me to continue creating the content and doing what I'm doing. If people are purchasing or letting other people know what I'm doing, then I won't be able to do what I'm doing. And that's the other part too. So being able to show up here, do what I'm doing, keep the lights on, it's so important. And I am so, 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 so thankful for all who support me. From just even from even the $10 to the people who send me money for coffee. Thank you. Um, and all of those beautiful little things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The other thing is that my husband's going to be coming in because our car wouldn't start today. So we got to figure that out, and what's going on with our vehicle. So, you know what? But I send it out love, and I send it out positivity, because it's, as one door closes, another one opens, and staying in the light is so, so important. And the light is vibrant there and there. So we are transitioning and becoming more enlightened beings upon this earth walk. So that's pretty fucking awesome. So have a blessed day, everyone. And go out, shine your light, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, and all that you be, and all that you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all for being a part of my day, being a part of my community, because without you, I would not be here. Thank you so much. Blessings, everybody. Bye bye.